All right, for the stationary drill, I said to focus on your arm swing. For in this video of DeGrom, you can see it from the angle. That's why we're using that. All right, so the big thing I'm gonna look at is your elbow, your throwing elbow, and then your gloved hand position. So at first, when I said don't stop the arm, your arm typically comes to that position and then it hits and then starts to come back up. In this one, it actually does a pretty good job of swinging back further. But you want to lead with the elbow. Okay, your elbow needs to go back and the hand will follow it. All right, so you're going down and then coming up like this, which kind of turns the shoulder in the wrong spot. You want to come down and back with the elbow, and then that makes it easier for the arm to flip up. So that's why some guys can short arm the ball. I'm not saying you should, but that's why they can, because it's elbow back here. But then if you're comfortable lengthening that angle out and letting the hand go down, that can create more momentum. But the elbow is the point of, if you wanted to trace the arm action, it's your elbow that swings, that makes the spiral path. The second thing, and I'll show you on the DeGrom. So the second thing for you is your glove arm goes this way. And you'll watch on the DeGrom, it goes out, not even at a 45, more towards the plate. If you go too far, you're damn near close to 90, okay, 90 being here. You're gonna have to pull this arm early to get it out of the way, which is gonna take time away from the back arm from flipping up. So I'll show you the position match on the DeGrom. Okay, you're gonna go, you have to go forward. All right, let's go back on the DeGrom. DeGrom's one frame in front of you. All right, the thing you're gonna look at is your arm is now kind of where his is, straight out this way and slightly towards the right-handed batter. But the thing you can see in his arm is his elbow's bent and it's about to flip up and your arm is still down like this. Okay, because you're dragging the arm because you've already started to open. So your shoulders are going like this while the arm is trying to do that. And those things don't happen together. Those things don't happen the same time efficiently. You want the arm to flip up and then this to rotate. And that's where the velocity comes from, the rotation and the layback. And that's where all the torque goes on the elbow as we get around here. So let's go through yours. All right. You can almost kind of see how your elbow gets stuck roughly here. All right, it goes from here to the next frame just there. All right. I know you're not throwing with violence, but that can happen really fast if done correctly. All right, and you can also see how far DeGrom's elbow is behind his back. If I draw a line this way for his shoulder line and then draw that elbow out there, there's a pretty good, it's roughly 30 to 40 degrees of retraction that you're looking for. Your angle is kind of hard, but it'd be like this roughly. And then you're rough. Again, this angle is hard to measure it, but the retraction in you is not nearly the amount that he is, and that is because you had to pull early. You didn't give yourself time to retract. All right, but I'll get off of this. Let's go back to that. Erase, clear. All right, I'll get off of this one because it's not the bigger deal. All right, but the thing you want to use on this one, as you're breaking your hands, your arm has to go out. It can't just go to the side. All right, it can go in a diagonal and not directly to the plate. It can go directly to the plate if you want it to, but you're probably going to go towards the right-handed batter. But the fact that you're sticking it out 90 is screwing up your arm path. You need to give that arm time for the elbow to get behind you, for it to flip up, and then for your shoulders to rotate. All right, and let's go through the rest of this, and you'll do another one. All right, you do drills stiffly a lot. All right, I know you're focused on your arm swing, but even with just the arm swing, the legs are going to move and be involved. So this is my video demonstration. This is in slow-mo, obviously, but you can see I'm kind of violent with it. We'll go back to the full speed, and you see a little bit of a rock. All right, and then the violent downturn of the back leg. But see how my arm, even though I scoop it this way, I get it out at a diagonal before I ever start to rotate my shoulders. I get it to there, and then I start to rotate it. But that gave my arm time to get up. Okay, so don't, even though this is an arm swing, do it with pace, do it with a little bit of effort. Don't be stiff with it. The arm swing comes from rhythm in the legs. Okay, so there's a sway in the legs as you're doing this. Get out of that, and then we'll go. So go further right there. All right, for these, they're controlled shuffle for a reason. I want your steps to be deliberate. I don't want a quick shuffle. I want a left, your right steps back in. We'll go find it in here so I don't have to explain it. That's what the video is for. Controlled shuffle. All right, so it's a step with your left. All right, the weight gets on the left. The back foot comes and replaces that left foot. All right, now all the weight's on the right foot. And from there, it's a step and a throw. All right, there's not two shuffles. It's left, right, throw. So the next time that left gets put on the ground, it's your stabilizer. All right, and now you're doing it with your duck feet to emphasize the external rotation of the knee. So you're going to move even slower through it. It shouldn't be a fast shuffle, but the throw should still have some violence to it. So we'll go back to your video. I like the duck-footed, let's go back to it. The duck-footed position forces you into an external knee, which is what you need, which is this position. This is really good. Okay. But the only issue is you're off balance because the way you're moving and your feet are like this. That's not really that normal. All right, this is an exaggeration. So you're falling. You're falling this way. Okay, if it were diagonal. All right, if I were to draw it that way. All right. Eraser. That. So if I'm drawing this again, you're going that way. All right. So if I keep it going. So that's why your back leg, I mean, it looks good. Literally, this is a good position you're in, but you're facing over there and you originally wanted to throw it here. All right. So you just lost your balance, and that's partly because your feet are like that. This is a good position. And if we go back, I like this position. All right. Again, I think your glove hand is too far close to 90 here. Get it out closer to the batter more. All right. Again, that's going to aid you to go forward, not to your right, not along that arrow. But that leg is right. Okay. Now we're going to have to find the happy medium with the foot so that you're not sticking your foot like that. All right. But that knee is correct. So we need to mimic that every throw. Because if you look at this position here, this arm's about to go into layback. This leg is fully facing down, so it's released all of its tension, allowing the arm to now, or the shoulders to now make their spiral. All right, let's see if your arm falls back. It does pretty well. Okay, now you see the blur in the hand. That means it's doing this. And that's what you want for a whip action. All right, and your head stays pretty firm. You finish out there. All right, you're gonna have to, we got to talk about your front leg, because somebody convinced you that it has to be straight and locked out. That's not the case. It just has to be stable. So let me clear this. All right, and I'll show you on DeGrom. Come on. Okay, so we'll stop it there. Actually, I'll get a side video of DeGrom, and that will be easier to see. All right, let's go back here. There used to be police speeds. All right. All right, so you can see that his leg isn't it's not straight, okay? I don't really even have to draw this, but I'm going to. Bam, bam. If I measured this angle right here, it's closer to 90 than it is straight, all right? So as we keep going, the ball is gone, right? You can see that here. All right, and this leg is above now where it was. All right, and as the ball's gone, all right, but it's still bent. All right, can't argue that. It's not straight. Now, as we keep going, ball's gone. Now you'll start to see it come up as he follows through. All right. So it's not about it being straight. It's about it stabilizing whenever it hits the ground. The lockout of the leg has to do with your hip mobility, okay, and the amount of time it's on the ground. The important thing is the knee. All right. you can see that even though he's in his follow through, it's still here. Okay, the knee has not moved. So when that thing hits, it stays, and then the femur gets locked into this position. It kicks the pelvis in a spiral that brings everything through. Okay, but if that knee moves, there's no transition to the pelvis after that front foot hits, and that slows your rotation down. All right. So where we see that in you, we go, let me clear all this. We'll go to the video here. All right, you're starting to see some retraction in your arms here. All right, so if I draw a line here on your elbow, and then I draw a spine through your head right there, you're starting to get the elbows behind. Needs to happen. That means you're getting some separation at the correct time. Also, you can see, bam, the hips at an angle, and then that shoulder's going to be roughly in here. So it's closed. Okay, so you're starting to see some separation here. Clear all drawings. But if we keep going, as this happens, all right, now I'm paying attention to your front leg and your front ankle and stuff. You'll see the foot. You can't see it from this angle. Where's your arm at? Okay, lay back. In this one, again, you're working at a different angle than your sight line, so you're throwing across your body. All right. And that's why you have to kind of jump out of that front leg, because you have to get around it, because you're going this way, trying to throw the ball originally this way. And then because you're going this way, you got to throw it back here. All right. So when people talk about direction, that's what they're talking about. Being able to sit in the hinge and the externally rotated knee allows you to go straight forward more, but you're just a little bit out of control just because your steps aren't calculated. They're not controlled. All right. That's why you start with the controlled shuffle and then go into max effort, because those steps transfer just at a faster pace. All right. So let's keep going. Is that the end of it? Or is there one more? Yeah, so let's go back. I would try to stick that front leg as best as possible. And what I mean by that, even in these, finish like a delivery where your leg kicks up. Okay, post that front leg. And I don't mean post it by snapping it. I mean post it by stabilizing your knee whenever it hits. And we can't see it here, but if we went from the side, we would either see a down motion from your thigh, your left thigh, or a forward motion from your front knee. Actually, let's see if we can find it anywhere. This is an old video, obviously. So I'm going here. Place beats. All right, toe touches. God damn it. We're going to put a dot on the knee. Now we're going to keep going. Okay, this video is deceiving because the camera moves. All right. Anytime you're doing an analysis like it, and when you do it, go into a biomechanics lab, the cameras are set to a point; they don't move, and because it changes the frame rate and the distance, the grid measurement of the camera. So that one's tough to see. But you can see how your ankle kicks in like that. Yeah, that ankle kicking in is a breakdown in itself. So that front leg is not as stable as it could be. And the more stable it is when it hits, the more it transfers up to that left pelvis, the left side of the pelvis, which pulls it back or forces it back, which allows this to come through, which then sends this motion up through your lats. And then your shoulders are like this, and that happens with your pelvis, which then is going to pull these, and then the arms in the correct position, and it lays back like this. These are spinning at a great rate, and then the arm releases, okay, and then you get out front and control the ball. But if that front foot isn't stable, then it doesn't happen as efficiently as it can. So that's another thing to think about. Again, not straight. You, in all your videos, you straighten it at the end after the ball's been gone because you're trying to do it while you're throwing the ball, and it's impossible. You're just moving too fast and hitting the ground with such force that you can't make that happen while you're still throwing because other things are happening. So quit worrying about it getting straight. When it hits, stabilize it where it's at, and then that'll allow you to rotate around it better and easier. And you won't have to throw across your body. Well, that's kind of a thing in the direction you're going, but it's also a thing whenever you're on the mound and that wobbles at all in your velocities. But the hinge looks better. The externally rotated knee is correct for you. It gives you more time. Now you have to control your steps, control your elbow in the arm swing, and then stabilize your front foot, ankle, knee, foot, ankle, and knee. You have to stabilize those whenever you hit and throw the ball.